unfolding right here in our area, right in our own backyard. As you can see, I'm right in front of Trump International Golf Course. That's where it all played out, near the 5th hole right here behind me. The former president was playing golf when all of a sudden someone was able to spot a rifle through the fence. The former president waking up safe this morning, but so many people waking up this morning saying, how could this possibly happen for yet a second time? Want to get you updated from some things from overnight. First off, Trump himself releasing a statement talking about what happened yesterday afternoon, saying this, quote, "My resolve is only stronger after another attempt on my life. I will never slow down. I will never give up. I will never surrender. I thank God every day for having supporters on my side. On November 5th, we will make America great again." That was a quote from the former president from overnight. Now, to get you caught up, this all happened yesterday afternoon, shortly before 2, right here at Trump International Golf Club. Now, the source tells ABC News Trump was on that 5th hole when they started to hear some kind of a popping sound nearby. Law enforcement confirms a Secret Service agent shot at a potential assassin. Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw saying that the agent actually saw the barrel of the suspect's AK-47 peeking right through the bushes. After shots were fired, the suspect took off. Now, the sheriff says this is when it was a witness. This is key here, an integral part in this investigation. It was a witness who helped in this investigation, apparently saw that suspect get in a vehicle. They were able to get a description and a plate number, so helpful for law enforcement. They issued a BOLO, or a be on the lookout for. Authorities were able to catch up with that suspect along 95 in Martin County.
As it was headed into Martin County, we got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
And Martin County Sheriff William Snyder also saying the arrest was a success. Of course, these agencies having to work together here, saying he's thankful to the men and women at the sheriff's office, thankful the incident ended safely.
I mean, think about it. They're stopping a car. The BOLO is for a suspect who had just fired at the President of the United States with a tactical rifle. It does not get scarier than that.
Yeah, you have to imagine that was probably a pretty intense situation. All right, so that suspect now in custody, but who is this person and what do we know about him, his history, his past, and where is he from? Let's go to Taylor Hernandez. She's actually live at the jail, which, to put it into context, just about a mile away from where we are right now outside Trump International. Taylor, you have more on the suspect.
I do, Aaron, and you make a great point. We're only about a mile away from each other. All of this stuff happening really close together right in our backyard. But let's get to that suspect. His name is Ryan Wesley Routh. Now, we don't know a whole lot about him, what his background is, what his motive might have been, but we do know he is here at the Palm Beach County Jail. That 58-year-old suspect recently lived in Hawaii and also in North Carolina, but most recently he lived in Hawaii. It's unclear, though, when he came to Florida or how he knew Trump was golfing here in the first place. But take a look at this evidence that Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says they found where the suspect was pointing his gun. They say that suspect had an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks, one of which had a ceramic tile and GoPro inside. It appears this stuff was left behind as Routh started running off. Overnight, sources telling ABC News that authorities are expected to file charges in a matter of days, but those exact charges are unclear. However, Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg says they will be significant and he will remain in custody.
They have some very serious sentences for attempted assassinations, for terrorism. They also have federal gun charges that could be utilized here. So this guy's going to be in a whole world of hurt.
Also new this morning, sources telling ABC News that authorities are looking into whether Routh had grievances related to Trump's position on Ukraine. Again, Routh here at the Palm Beach County Jail. We do not know when he will be making first appearance, Aaron. We do not believe that is happening this morning, so we are still waiting on official charges and his mugshot. I'll send things back over to you.
All right, Taylor, thank you. We'll check in with you throughout the hour. Meanwhile, we're getting political reaction from both sides of the aisle after this all unfolded yesterday afternoon. Want to start with President Joe Biden reacting, releasing a statement saying in part he is relieved former President Trump is unharmed, and he has ordered his team to make sure that the Secret Service has every resource available to keep him safe. He also says in part, quote, "There's no place for political violence or for any violence ever in our country. Now, Democratic presidential nominee and Vice President Kamala Harris echoing this statement, but issued her own. She says she's thankful Trump is safe, saying in part, quote, "I condemn political violence. We must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence." And just overnight, we know Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., told ABC News his father is fine, adding, "It's hard to believe that he has to talk to his children about a second assassination attempt on their grandfather," talking about how he had to sit down with his children, of course, and talk about what happened, as it is, of course, national and international news. Now, Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, says that they spoke to GOP nominee as this all playing out, saying, quote, he's amazingly in good spirits. And we're also hearing from House Speaker Mike Johnson, who was actually, coincidentally, at Mar-a-Lago with his wife for a previously scheduled meeting with Trump. Now, they were not on the golf course together when this all happened, but Johnson shared a photo, you're looking at it now, calling Trump, quote, unstoppable. Meanwhile, here in our state, Governor Ron DeSantis also ordered the state of Florida to do an independent investigation about what unfolded right here behind me, just feet away on the golf course. In a post on X, he said this, want to show you. He says, quote, "The people deserve the truth about the would-be assassin and how he was able to get within 500 yards of the former president and current GOP nominee." Right now, the FBI is leading this investigation. They're working, of course, as Taylor was mentioning, to figure out a motive. Of course, this all developing this morning, and as the sun comes up, as this scene right here is still blocked off, we're gathering that we're going to start seeing some more law enforcement agencies come back out here and figuring out what they need to get, what they need to process right here behind us. Meanwhile, we don't know exactly what charges are going to be filed, but we do know a lot of people talking about the security around the former president. We're going to check in to Mar-a-Lago coming up in just a little bit and what it could mean for all of us. Until then, Nathalie and Steve, we'll send it back to you.